Hey guys, welcome back. Let's do a part two. This is going to be a part two of me checking the rendering on Rise of Tomb Raider PlayStation 4 Pro version. What you're looking at right now, it's a 60 FPS. Let me show you my controller. It's a 60 FPS and it's really smooth. Look at the controller, look at the way I'm moving it. And just look how smooth that is. Barely any input lag. There. And even here, when she's moving around, you barely see any input lag. And to me, that shows just truly how fast this thing runs on PlayStation 4 Pro on 60 frames per second. Now let's switch to a Enriched Visuals. Now the graphics is going to look a little bit better, but we're going to sacrifice on the frame rate. You see her hair looks much richer and vivid and smoother. It's just her character looks way more detailed, especially right here. Okay, now let's switch it back to 4K. Let's go back to 4K. Now 4K is definitely the one version I would say go with, because it's more balanced and of course you're getting a true native resolution. And you definitely want to play this game on a true native resolution. That's the idea. It still runs great on 4K, but if you care much about frame rate, then go with the 60 FPS. But for this game, the frame rate is not that much of a deal breaker, because it's not a Call of Duty. This is an adventure action game. So I would stay with a 4K resolution or enriched graphics. But to me, 4K it's better option, because you do get that, you know, that vivid detail and sharpness that you want. Let's continue. Now we're gonna switch back to Enriched Graphics. Let's see how that looks. Actually, let's switch to high frame rate for now. Let's just see how it looks when she's hanging out from the cliff. And you'll see a fluidity much better on 60 frames per second. And that's clearly what you're getting with a higher frame rate, you know. You get the fluidity. Now, it's not bad. You're not sacrificing that much, but you are getting a little bit of jaggies, you know, like anti-aliasing. It's truly noticeable here that it's gone. Like, it's almost anti-aliasing, it's totally turned off. Kind of like in PC, when you turn the anti-aliasing off, you get a little bit of those jaggies. Now, if those jaggies are bothering you, then you go back to Enriched Visuals. And now, you don't see those jaggies, you see smoke effects, you see reflection of Laura much better. Everything's more richer now. The tessellation in the distance and everything is much more vivid. You know, like right here, for example. You see how much in the distance she can see? Now we turn to 4K, we'll see even more enhancement. But I would say 4K is the best, you know, just leave it at native 4K, because native 4K is the balanced way to play. That's what you want. Especially if you have HDR. With 4K, that's where you're truly gonna enjoy this game. Now here I'm gonna switch back to high frame rate, because I want you guys to see the movements on the 60 FPS right here. Here we go.
Could this really be it?
Hey, clearly you see that here on her movements. And I want to show you my controller too, just so you guys know that there's no input lag here.
1,000 years old, at least. It all lines up.
Especially right here. You definitely see the benefit of fluidity when you're using 60 FPS. But you have to remember, you're also sacrificing, you know, on anti-aliasing. It's almost like anti-aliasing is turned off. And the textures are a bit medium, which is fine. You're still running this on the upscale 4K, but with a high frame rate. So you gotta ask yourself, you know, what is it you want? Do you want that fluidity? Like, see, like the fluidity, how fast it is, like right now. Do you want that fluidity? Or do you care about enriched graphics? Me, personally, I care about the enriched graphics because you want to make sure. You see, like, here's a good example. Look at that water effect down there. Let me get my camera close. I want to show you something. Okay, guys, I want you to keep an eye on that water. You see that water right over here? That little puddle of water where the reflection is? I want you to keep an eye on that when I switch back to the enriched graphics. Look what happens. You see? You see the difference? You see how everything becomes more detailed in textures and reflection and dynamic light and dynamic shadow. You see? Clearly you can see it. And on a 4K resolution, you're getting that high resolution 2160p, but you're sacrificing with the medium textures. Now with the enhanced visuals, that's what you're getting. You see? That's exactly what you're getting. And you can see it clearly here. You see, when I switch it back to enriched visuals, high frame rate, you lose that. 4K, you still have a little bit of that, but it's medium settings. It's balanced because you're running it at 2160p. Now here, in Enriched Visuals, that's where you get that. There, so hopefully that helps you. Okay, so I'm going to keep it in Enriched Visuals for a couple of more minutes before the video ends. And just so you guys can see it. See that detail on the water and on Laura. And it's much better. I don't know why I was exiting, but anyway. I just want to show you. So I like that you have that option in PlayStation 4 Pro, that you can switch between, you know, high detailed graphics, or just simply go with the higher frame rate, or just keep it at 4K native.
Some kind of marker. Can't quite make out the translation. This word. Prophet. This is it. Dad was right.
Now if I switch back to higher frame rate, this is exactly what you're gonna get. The smoother frame rate. Right here. Look. Alright guys, so well there you have it. Hopefully you understand now the choices and difference that you can have on PlayStation 4 Pro, which is cool in my opinion.